You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
Bears fans, we have to stop doing this. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. So, Bears fans, I have a pretty interesting topic today right here on the podcast, a topic that I think is going to get a lot of engagement. So once again, continue to engage with me down below in the comment section. But I've been really thinking over the past couple of days about this whole quarterback dilemma Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears are going through right now. And I know I promised to get away from these type of videos for a little bit right here on Keek on the Mic, but I couldn't help but come back to this topic because I've been seeing a lot of different things on social media amongst Chicago Bears fans. Obviously, we all know that Chicago Bears fans are pretty much divided. I know a lot of people say it's 70-30, but when I go on social media, it seems pretty divided of people going at each other, meaning Bears fans going at each other in regards to the Caleb Williams versus Justin Fields debate. But I want to talk solely about quarterback Caleb Williams because I feel when I look at a guy like Caleb Williams, he's already being set up for failure in terms of how Chicago Bears fans are regarding him, as a player already, even though he has not even played a snap in the National Football League. And what I'm getting at here, Bears fans, is when I go on social media, the first thing that I see is comparisons to Patrick Mahomes, like the throwing motions, the off-platform throws, right? Their ability to make plays out of nothing, right? The sidearm throws, all that stuff. It's always Caleb Williams and Patrick Mahomes. And to me, that's all fine and dandy, right? It's okay to, I guess, compare Caleb Williams and, their tendencies and how they play. They're very similar. That's totally fine. But what I have a problem with, and this is why I think if we continue to do this as a fan base, it's going to set up Caleb Williams for failure. The stuff I see on social media is Bears fans basically saying that Caleb Williams, and not all Bears fans, but basically saying Caleb Williams is going to be the next Patrick Mahomes. Let's take a step back here and let's just talk about Patrick Mahomes for a second. I'm going to throw up this crazy stat of him side by side of arguably the greatest of all time in Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes in his first 6 years as a starting quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs is 72-22. He's 14-3 in the NFL playoffs. He just won his 4th AFC title game with the Kansas City Chiefs. He has 2 Super Bowl rings, and it could very well be a 3rd if he beats the San Francisco 49ers in 2 weeks in the Super Bowl. He has 258 touchdowns to 69 interceptions and 103.7 QB rating. And when you put him side by side with Tom Brady, it's absolutely ridiculous. We can already have the conversation that Patrick Mahomes could possibly be already the greatest quarterback of all time. So it's okay if we compare the throwing motions, the ad-lib plays, the playmaking ability of Patrick Mahomes compared to Caleb Williams. But when we sit here and just say Caleb Williams is going to be the next Patrick Mahomes, and once again, it's not every single Bears fan saying it, but for the Bears fans that are putting these expectations on Caleb Williams, just stop it. Just please stop it, because you are setting this kid up for failure. And put it this way. He's already going to have these expectations, right? Because he's going to be the number 1 overall pick, whether it's with the Chicago Bears or not with the Chicago Bears. He is slated to be the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft. That comes with enough expectations, right? But when you add being the number 1 overall pick and then fan bases, including the Chicago Bears and maybe other fan bases as well, saying that he has the ability to be the next Patrick Mahomes, just please stop it. Patrick Mahomes is a proven commodity. And also when you're looking at a guy like Patrick Mahomes, he ended up in a very good situation with a Hall of Fame head coach in Andy Reid, with a Hall of Fame tight end in Travis Kelce. If Caleb Williams gets drafted by the Chicago Bears, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have Andy Reid. He doesn't have Travis Kelce. The Kansas City Chiefs were an amazing situation for Patrick Mahomes to go into. But we have to stop as a fan base. And once again, it's not all of you guys, but for the people that are saying that he's instantly going to be Patrick Mahomes in year one is absolutely ridiculous. And personally, every time I go on social media, every time I open up Twitter, which personally, I think I need to take a step away from Twitter because it's becoming really toxic because you see shit like this. Saying that Caleb Williams is going to be Patrick Mahomes right away. Once again, it's totally fine to say that they have the same tendencies as a player. They're similar as a player. But Patrick Mahomes has done it at a high level. Patrick Mahomes is on his way to possibly winning his 3rd Super Bowl ring in his 6th season. So if you're saying that he's going to be the next Patrick Mahomes right away, to the people that are saying it, if the Bears draft Caleb Williams at number 1 overall, I expect him to come in and take us instantly to the playoffs and go on a Super Bowl run. That's what you're basically saying. It's absolutely crazy. And I kind of feel bad for Caleb Williams because just let him be the next Caleb Williams. Why do we have to put these expectations on these players, on these athletes, on these young kids like Caleb Williams? It's not just Caleb Williams. I've seen people on social media says, oh, Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be the next Randy Moss. Let him just be the next Marvin Harrison Jr. Let them figure it out. Don't put those expectations. They're already going to have a lot of pressure. Like Caleb Williams is already going to have a lot of pressure being the number 1 overall pick. And personally, if the Chicago Bears draft him number 1 overall, he's going to be expected to possibly take this Bears team that's going to be pretty good around him to go to the playoffs in year 1. I truly believe that Caleb Williams is not going to have that grace period. Because if Ryan Poles does move off of Justin Fields, you're basically saying, right, Caleb Williams is better than Justin Fields right now. So that means we have the team around him to go to the playoffs next year. So he's going to have those expectations in year 1, at least to me personally. So we can have those expectations. But when we're saying like, oh man, he's going to be the next Patrick Mahomes, Marvin Harrison's going to be the next Randy Moss, it's like, slow down, people. And it just drives me insane because I just pulled up the stats. In his first 6 years, Patrick Mahomes is already better than Tom Brady, arguably the greatest quarterback to ever live. His stats are way better, actually, than Tom Brady's in his first 6 years. So Bears fans, let's not set up Caleb Williams for failure if he is, in fact, the Chicago Bears choice at number 1 overall, because that's exactly what you guys are doing. You guys are living in this la-la land. And of course, it would be amazing to see Caleb Williams turn into a Patrick Mahomes type of player. Because when you look at Patrick Mahomes and Caleb Williams side by side, they do have some similarities, right? Both have big arms, can both make plays on the run. Both pretty accurate when throwing the football. So I understand when you make those type of comparisons, but when you just gonna say straight up that Caleb Williams is Patrick Mahomes 2.0 and could possibly be better, that's absolutely insane. And once again, I hope that for Caleb Williams. That would be amazing if Caleb Williams turns into Patrick Mahomes, maybe even better. But he still has to prove that in the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes has already proved that in the NFL. So let's not put these expectations on these young athletes like Caleb Williams. And this is just like a whole ordeal, right? When you're talking about fan bases, because they do it all the time. We compare too much. Something I've been seeing on social media as well is Justin Fields comparisons to Lamar Jackson. Yeah, their skill sets are similar. They're both dual threat quarterbacks. But I feel like they do different things as well. I'm not going to sit here and list them off one by one. But I feel like they do things that are different. You can differentiate the quarterbacks as well. Yes, they do have the same skill sets. They can both run the football, right, at a high level. But some people may think that Justin Fields has a better deep ball. Some people may think that Lamar Jackson is a more athletic quarterback than Justin Fields. So to me, I've never liked the comparisons, right? Let Justin Fields be Justin Fields. Let Lamar Jackson be Lamar Jackson. Let Patrick Mahomes be Patrick Mahomes. and let Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. be Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. For most of you guys, this video may be pointless to you. Like, Keek, why in the world would you even bring this up? To me, it's just something I wanted to get off my chest because I've been seeing it a lot lately, because you're setting these players up for failure when you put those type of expectations on them. Caleb Williams has enough expectations being the #1 overall pick. If the Bears pick Caleb Williams, he has to come into Chicago and try to do something that no other quarterback has ever done and be a franchise quarterback. To me, that's enough expectations for a young guy like Caleb Williams, right? So let's stop all this nonsense saying that he's going to be a next Patrick Mahomes. Once again, if the Bears draft him, I hope he becomes the next Patrick Mahomes. That would be great for the Chicago Bears organization. But for now, let him be the next Caleb Williams. But before I let you guys go, Bears fans, let me know if you agree with me down below in the comment section. I would love to hear from you guys. But other than that, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. Make sure you share this episode of Keek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for all new Bears podcasts right here on Keek on the Mic. Thanks, guys. And as always, bear down.
You've been listening to Keek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.